Hi everybody, it's me, Jackie Armand. I'm back again with another spooky craft video. The first craft video of 2025. So yeah, first one of the year. I'm excited. Today, I thought we would do kind of a easy craft to kind of start the year off on. I have another one that I want to do too this month, but it takes a little more prep. So I thought we would do an easy one here to kind of start things off for the year. One that hopefully is foolproof. But basically what we're gonna make are we're going to make little Ouija board planchette coasters. I realized that when I was looking through my YouTube archive of videos that last year, the first video I did of 2024 in January was also a Ouija board themed project. I did not plan that. That was not on purpose. That happened by accident. But yeah, last year I made a Ouija board table runner for our coffee table. So if you want to check out that video, I will leave a link to it. And it was really cool. And I remember thinking that I wanted to make coasters to fit it. And that was something that I had planned to do at some point last year and make a video of that, but it just never happened. So it was still on the list of like videos to do. And so it just so happened to end up being this year that we're going to do it, and ended up being the first video of the year. So I guess it was kind of fitting and it was fate. I don't know, but this is going to be a pretty easy craft. I found a way to do it fairly easily. Hopefully those of you at home, if you want to make these, you can make them. But I thought that they would match our table runner perfectly because the table runner looks like a Ouija board, so of course we need little planchette coasters to go on it, right? It has to fit. All right, so I guess, obviously before we get into all of that, I would like to say if this is the kind of content you like, if you like crafting, you like tutorials, you like decorating, party planning, costuming, just kind of pretty much anything all around spooky, that you would give this video a thumbs up. And you would also hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. It's Halloween all year long here, not just in October, so if you like that, then stick with us because it is a lot of spooky fun on this channel. Also, if you're looking to support this channel in a more personal way, I do have a Patreon. Patrons get lots of extra fun goodies, including extra content from me. I have 2 Patreon-only exclusive series of videos there. One is called Terror Tube, which is a horror host type show hosted by me, where we talk about like lots of spooky things. I do movie reviews, I read ghost stories. It's like a fun time. And that is for paid patrons only. However, if you're looking for something as a free member on Patreon, I do have a series that is available for everyone, free and paid, and it is called Friday Night Creepover. Those are videos that are just kind of chit-chatty. I sit on my bed, we talk about stuff, we do things that you would probably do at a sleepover. We eat snacks, we talk about makeup, Halloween makeup usually, and watch spooky movies. It's just kind of a fun time. Obviously, if that sounds interesting to you and you want more content from me, please go to patreon.com/Jackie Armand and think about becoming a member. As always, of course, I love my paid members on the tiers, but I also appreciate my free members. There are other things there like giveaways. I just started doing giveaways. We did our first one just last month. So I'm excited to start doing that, and giveaways are available for free and paid members. So yeah, if anything, it's just another extra spooky community that you can be a part of and interact with me on. I will have a Terror Tube up this month. I have finished filming it. I'm just in the process of editing it. So for the paid members there, look forward to that. If you're not a paid member, maybe think about it. The smallest tier is only $3 a month. So just for that, you can enjoy the Terror Tubes and everything that Patreon has to offer. So I guess that all being said, let's go ahead and we will get into this project, and I will show you everything I've got and how we're gonna achieve it. All right, let's go. Okay, we are in the handy dandy craft room, and I'm going to show you the supplies that I have to create these Ouija board coasters. Now, like I said, this is going to be actually a pretty easy project. So hopefully those at home who if you want to make this, you can. I mean, I usually always try to do that with my projects, but this one actually is going to be a lot easier than I anticipated. So let me show you the first thing that I got. Here we go. So these I actually found on Walmart.com, and I will link to them. They were varying sizes. I picked 5-inch. They went by like height, and I got the 5-inch tall ones. I did kind of do some printing on the computer. I like got just like a graphic of a Ouija board planchette, and I printed it out in the sizes that it said on Walmart.com to kind of get an idea of how big I needed them to be, because I was worried about getting them too small. And these seem to be the perfect size to put a drink on. So I did 5 inches. Obviously you can do whatever size. They have the smallest is like 3 inches, and then like you can get really big ones there. So, and they were actually fairly inexpensive. I think these were about, I don't know, a little over $1 or something each. So, you know, I only got 4 of them. And so, you know, even having it shipped to my house, it was actually not that bad. I think it was like $15. Not terrible, considering that eliminated me having to like cut some out of wood, because I thought I was gonna have to do that. I thought I was going to have to like get some wood, maybe ask my dad or my husband, somebody who is good with woodworking, to do it for me. We are living in an apartment, so we don't have like a garage, we don't have like a wood saw, and so I thought I was gonna have to do something like that, but I didn't have to. And what's even cooler is that when I got these, the edges are burned, even in the hole, like if you can see, like, and so they look actually really cool, and I won't have to stain that. Which was another awesome thing. I thought I was gonna like have to stain the edges so that it didn't look, you know, like unfinished wood, but and because it's burned, it's not splintery. So like, this was like a win. Walmart.com, like, are you kidding me? Like, this was pretty awesome. So yeah, I will link to that if you guys wanna use that. So my plan, since a lot of this has been done for me, is I am going to just kind of get a graphic, or I don't know if I'm gonna find a graphic online, or if I'm gonna make one, or if I'm gonna take one I like and kind of alter it or something. But I am going to just Mod Podge a graphic on. I feel like that's the easiest thing to do. I don't wanna have to paint anything. It'll look better than anything that I could paint or draw or whatever, and it's just easier. So I'm definitely want to do that. But before I put the graphic on this, I am going to fill each of these holes with resin. I got this clear epoxy resin that just dries. It says it's 8 hours and it's tack free, but a full cure is 24 hours. So obviously when I do the resin, I'm gonna have to wait until I do the rest of it, but I think I'm gonna do the resin first in case we make a mess. And then I can kind of cover up things with the graphic or whatever. But yeah, I really wanna fill the holes with this so that we have like a clear window to look through, you know, because that's what the planches look like. Plus, then we don't have like this hole that the drink can't set on, or that the drink is gonna like, your drinks will like sweat and leak water through or whatever. So that will eliminate this. I also got this at Walmart, and it was like 17 bucks, this little kit. They had kits that were even smaller than this that were cheaper, but I didn't know how much I was gonna need, so I got this. But again, fairly inexpensive, and again from Walmart, but this was actually like in the store. The planchettes I do not believe are in the store. You have to order them online, so. But what I plan to do is after we put the resin in and it has cured and it's good to go, I'm gonna Mod Podge on a graphic, like I said, and I'm gonna use this dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I don't know if you've ever used this before, if you know what it is. I have a lot of it because I used to actually make coasters on my Etsy shop a long time ago that were made from ceramic tiles. I'm sure you've seen that before. And I would Mod Podge things onto the ceramic tile. And the dishwasher safe Mod Podge is good because it's basically waterproof. From what I've heard, you can actually use this to Mod Podge things on, and it should, in theory, actually could go through the dishwasher, but you have to like put it on the top shelf. But I usually, when I made coasters in the past, I would just do like at least 2 or 3, sometimes 4 coats of this over the graphic. I would do a coat, let it dry, do another coat, let it dry. And I think I did at least 3 or 4 coats. And this is kept not only the graphic safe from water, because when you're gonna put a glass on your coaster, it's gonna sweat and it's gonna get the coaster wet, which is what the coaster's for. But it also, if you use regular Mod Podge, the Mod Podge will rehydrate, and then you're left with like this glue spot. So if you've ever gotten like regular Mod Podge wet, it just kind of rehydrates and becomes glue again. And then you have like this clumpy glue, and then now there's a glue mess. And this doesn't do that. So when it gets wet, it doesn't revert back to its glue state. And so that's why I really, really like it. You can get this anywhere. You can find any like Mod Podge any place. And I have a lot of it because I love it for stuff like that you want the graphic to not get ruined with water. So, and then on the bottom of the coasters, I'm just going to glue some cork to. I have these, I think I got these probably from Hobby Lobby or somewhere, and they are actually just cork coasters. And I'm probably just gonna cut them into like an oval because it doesn't have to fit the shape perfectly. I just want a little oval there so that it doesn't slide around on the table. I think I did use these when I would do them coasters out of tile, because the tile would scratch up any surface that you had, because the bottom of the tile was really rough. And so that's why I would use that on the tile. And you can get big sheets of cork like this at like Hobby Lobby. It's like in a roll. And I used to have some of those, but I don't anymore. I don't know where it is. I think I used it all, but I did have some of these, and these should work just fine. But yeah, it's just a sheet of cork, and we're just gonna cut and glue it to the bottom of the coaster so the coaster doesn't move around. But then that's pretty much it. That's gonna be it to these coasters. I think the only thing I'm a little scared of is the resin. I've only ever done resin one other time before, and it was for this. It was a steampunk trident that I made for a costume years ago. I did a steampunk Ariel, the Little Mermaid costume, and this went with it. And I used resin for the little dial here. It was like supposed to be kind of like a pressure gauge. And this turned out pretty good. There were actually no bubbles in it, which I was really surprised, because like I said, this was the first time I'd ever done anything resin. This little circle was a one of those, the handles that you have on like a sliding door. I'll put like a picture of that. You probably know what that is, and I got it at like a hardware store. And I just printed out a graphic of like a steampunky looking pressure gauge, and I just glued it in there and then poured the resin on. The only problem that happened was you can see the resin kind of got underneath the graphic a little bit and made these weird splotches. But in the end, it ended up being okay, because this was supposed to be steampunky and kind of like not new looking, you know, it was supposed to look kind of old and stuff, so it ended up working to my advantage. But this turned out pretty good, but I am not a expert at resin, so, and it can be finicky, so we'll see how it goes. I'm a little nervous. That's the only thing I'm really nervous about this project. But the only thing I'm worried about is that these don't have a back on them. So I think what I'm gonna use is just painter's tape to kind of create a back on it, because I've heard that that stuff works really well with resin. It'll just peel right off. So here's hoping that that's true. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do today. We're just gonna fill these with resin, and let them just dry and cure, and hopefully by tomorrow in 24 hours, they will be good to go and we can do the rest of it. Here's hoping, and I guess I will stop talking and we will just get to it. Okay, let's go. All right, so here I am taping the back of these planchettes. We will find out later that I didn't quite seal these good enough, as good as I should have. Spoilers. But yeah, basically I tried not to leave the sticky stuff in the hole, is what I really was trying to do here, and just let it be a backing for the resin to sit in. And then, you know, I just mixed up the resin according to the bottle. It's usually equal parts of each bottle mixed together, and then you just pour it in. Hi guys, so it is day 2 of the project, but it's been a couple of days later. We had a snow day here in Alabama, which in this part of Alabama is really rare, so I was kind of distracted by that for like a day or two, and which is why I haven't done much else. But I did peel off the backing of my little planchettes after the resin hardened. It did take a little while because it was cold, so it took longer than what it said on the bottle for it to finally cure. And I peeled the backing off, and I'm going to show you kind of what happened before we get to the next step, because I want you guys to see how it almost was a disaster, but like wasn't quite a disaster yet. So let's see. So here's the fronts. They look pretty good. As far as the resin pour, it looks great. There's no bubbles or anything. That turned out really great. However, the back, I guess I didn't do a really good seal with the tape because a lot of the resin leaked. It leaked out. It was like all over the place on the back of these things. Luckily, very luckily, there was actually kind of like this like paper backing that was like stuck to the back of these planchettes, which I didn't know was there until I started peeling the tape off and it was coming off with it. And I was like, oh, there's like a paper backing on here. So I was able to peel up a lot of the mess of the resin that had like leaked out. And so that ended up being really lucky. The only thing that's really left here is I've got some like on the edges. This one's not too bad, but some of them like are kind of on the edges and they're like sticking out. So I'm gonna have to like maybe Dremel them and sand them a little bit. And then obviously the back here, there's still some like tape stuck to it. So I'm gonna have to like kind of scrape that off and then probably do some sanding so it's not cloudy and it looks pretty clear. But other than that, it turned out pretty good. So there's gonna like some, you know, cleaning up I have to do. Obviously, this one that leaked the most, the little hole here was only ended up being filled like halfway because half of it leaked out, which kind of stinks. But, you know, I don't know. I feel like because every single one of them did leak a little bit, not all of them are filled all the way to the top. I feel like maybe later, if I decide after I've done with everything, if I want to pour more resin in there and get it level, I could, especially now that there is resin already in there that's cured and hardened, so it won't leak this time. But I feel like that'll be a future thing. I'll just do that later if I decide I want to do that, because otherwise they don't really look that bad and you can't really tell that this one is like less than the rest of them. I don't know what I could have done differently to avoid this. Either making a better seal on the back here with the tape, maybe, or the only other thing I could think of is if I just had done a very, very small, shallow pour that was just like the tiniest amount of resin in there at the start and let it cure, and then after it cured, filled it the rest of the way. If that would have helped, like create a seal first before I filled it up, I guess that could have worked. I don't know. Anybody out there who works with resin on a regular, because I don't, and you know probably what I could have done, let me know. Because I would like to maybe make more of these in the future than just these 4. And so I would like to know what I did wrong to avoid that next time. But like I said, this is maybe like, this is my second time working with resin, so I don't really know what I'm doing. And so I don't really know what I could have done to have prevented it. But anyway, I think in the long run, we had a crisis averted. It could have been worse, and it just needs some cleaning up to do. And then we can put the graphic on the top here and the cork on the back, and we'll be done with these. So yeah, just wanted to share that experience with you all in case any of you guys are gonna do this project. But all right, I guess I will just quit talking and we'll get these things finished up. All right, let's go. All right, so here I am trying to clean up the backs of these planchettes. I started by trying to use an X-Acto knife to kind of scrape some of the tape off, but that didn't really work. So I mostly just used the sandpaper. I ended up going back and forth a little bit with Goo Gone and the sandpaper because some of the tape was just really hard to get up. But it just took some elbow grease to get it off, and then, you know, at the end I kind of wiped everything off with a little bit of alcohol to kind of, you know, clean it up. And it was a little cloudy on the back of each one. I tried using some glossy Mod Podge to paint on the back to see if that helped, and it did a little. But in the end, I wasn't like too concerned about it. I was just glad that it was not a mess and it was pretty clean. Alright, and I didn't record me dremeling the resin that was on the sides off. I just didn't feel like doing it. But I noticed after we dremeled it and after I'd sanded it that a lot of that burned part of the edges was gone. So I just took a wood burner tool with like a flat head on it, the attachment, and I just went over the spots that needed to be burned again and kind of burned them. I wasn't super worried about it being really clean because I ended up Mod Podging it, which is what this is. So this is just the dishwasher safe Mod Podge with a lot of food coloring added to it to get it this kind of gross brown color that I kind of ended up using to stain the top of these planchettes. Basically, I went over it with a layer of the Mod Podge, and then I took the graphic, which I will show you guys here. I ended up making the graphic myself because I couldn't find anything I really liked or was the right shape. I can try to put it on my Patreon so that you guys can download it, but I just put the graphic on over the Mod Podge and then Mod Podged over it.
I did that to all of them, and I think I even went over it with some more of the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, just a clear coat, like 2 or 3 more times to make sure it was really on there. And here I realized it was kind of ended up being off camera, but I went around the edges as well with the Mod Podge, and that kind of covered up any inconsistencies in the wood burning and everything and just made it look cohesive. And here I am cutting out the shapes for the cork. Now, I originally cut it to fit the entire back of the planchette and cut a hole in it so that, you know, you could still see through the little window. I ended up abandoning this idea because I found that it was just really hard to cut the circle in a good, clean way, and so that it wasn't, none of the cork showed through the back, and it was just really hard to align it up and everything. So I gave up on that and I ended up doing this where I just kind of cut out a little bottom and a little top to just go on the back, and I felt like that ended up working the best. And I just, cut them all out for all of them, and it worked just fine. And I glued them on using actually wood glue. I was going to do hot glue, but I've actually found in the past that hot glue, sometimes the cork will just come right off of it. And wood glue works probably the best for cork, honestly, because cork is essentially little bits of wood. You could also use E6000. I've used that before, and that has worked really well. But yeah, simple wood glue just works really great with cork.
Okay, that's it. We're done. They look really good. I love them. I think it was a pretty successful project. I think maybe my only complaints with it was, well, the resin leaking. And then, of course, that they're not super clear. After I sanded the back to get all of the tape off, it never really got shiny. It kind of stayed clouded. I looked up how I could polish it to get it to be shiny again. I apologize, my washing machine is going, but I tried to look up and see how I could get it polished and shiny, but it was like I had to use like a buffer and then or paint more resin over it, which I could have done. I just really didn't feel like messing with the resin anymore. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that in the future, but for now, I don't really care that much that they're a little cloudy, because if something is laying right on it, it's actually kind of hard to tell that it's not super like clear. I did go over it with like a layer of glossy Mod Podge, and that kind of helped, but I don't know. But that was probably my only complaint with the project, was the resin complications. Didn't go as smooth as I wanted it to. Again, I might go back and fill up these all the way to the top with more resin, and so it's flush across the top. I don't know, I haven't really decided. It might not be a big deal. I'll have to test it and put drinks on it to test it out to see, because what I'm worried about is like water pooling in there. You know, that's what I'm worried about. I want it to be kind of like a level surface. So yeah, but you know, I might go back and do that. But as a whole, I think they turned out really good, really cute. I am very, very proud of them. Other than that, so they're really. I might have to make more for our coffee table. But yeah, they're really cute. I'm very pleased. Even with the minor setbacks, they were minor. They were not crazy bad. And I can't wait to use them as coasters. So, yay! So I would say first project of the year, a win. Overall, it was a win, an A. I give it an A. I really liked it, but you know, it taught me some things for maybe next time if I make more of them. Again, I will try to link those that I got at Walmart, so if you want to make them yourself, you can. But yeah, overall, super happy with it. I guess if you guys also liked watching this video and you had fun and you stayed till the end, obviously please give it a thumbs up if you haven't yet, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. As far as new videos go, I have another project this month that I'm going to squeeze in. It was actually intended before this one, but I didn't have all the supplies for it yet, and these came earlier than I thought they were going to in the mail, so I ended up doing this project first. But I am really excited about it because this is a project I wanted to do last year and just never got around to it. It just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and then it never happened. So I'm hoping to finally get it done, and I am excited about it. So look forward to that. And I have lots of more ideas in February and March leading up to, you know, of course, April, which eventually April is when we start party planning again for the Halloween party this year. So, and I'm really excited about the theme this year. My husband kind of suggested it, picked it, so it should be fun, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. But anyway, other than that, of course, if you're looking for more content from me, you can always go to patreon.com/JackieArment and check out the stuff that's there, the Terror Tubes, the Friday Night Creepovers. There's lots to watch. There will be a Terror Tube up very, very, very soon. I am editing it, so it should be up soon. This was a Terror Tube that I think I had originally planned to put up in November, and then that didn't happen, and then it was supposed to be at the end of December after Christmas, and it's just like things get away from me, and I try to focus on YouTube more than Patreon, but there will be a Terror Tube up very, very soon. I am editing it. As I'm talking here, it is in the process of being edited, so look forward to that. I'm gonna try to be more on schedule with the Terror Tubes. But, you know, those come out every other month, and then Friday Night Creepovers in the month's offset. I do want to try to do another giveaway soon, maybe next month in February. I haven't really figured out what I want to give away. It's been things that I've made on my channel. This was kind of the idea of what I wanted to start giving away. So I don't know if you guys have a craft that you've seen on my channel that you kind of want to be a giveaway and you're a patron on Patreon, put it in the comments, let me know. I might try to make like a poll or something on Patreon to ask you guys what you want me to give away. Other than that, I will always leave links in the description of this video to my social media, so my Instagram and TikTok, where lots of extra spooky things that don't make it to YouTube end up there. I am a little more active on Instagram than TikTok, but you know. I will also leave a link to my Etsy shop, where I make spooky, Halloween-y, witchy things all year long. You can get prop potion bottles and stuff like that there. So check that out if you're interested. Also, if you don't know, I have written 2 different books that are available for purchase on Amazon. One is a zombie romance, and one is a vampire adventure story. They're both available as paperback and Kindle versions, and you can read a little bit of the Kindle version before you buy to see if it's your thing or not. They're really good, spooky books that you can read all year, any year. One of them does have a Halloween party in it, but they're pretty much good for all year round. And it does help support this channel a little bit because I do get the earnings from the purchases on Amazon. Speaking of my writing, I will also leave a link to my author website and my author Facebook page, where updates for things that I'm currently writing, book giveaways, stuff like that end up there. The book that I'm currently working on right now is about a young woman who's possessed by a demon. So there are 2 sneak peeks of that book, 2 leaked chapters of what I'm writing there. And, you know, I try to keep you guys updated on that and when I should be finished and when it can be available and all of that good stuff. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching the very first video of the year here in 2025. I look forward to making more videos, more content for you guys here on YouTube. I'm excited to see where this year will take me. Last year, I hit the milestone of getting to 1,000 subscribers, which was really cool. So I'm excited to see where this year takes me and how far I can get. I hope you guys are excited too. And you guys always stay spooky. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.